What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Bay Street Insider, and we're here with Deepak Varshney, CEO of Usha Resources. It's a pleasure to have you on today, Deepak. How are you doing today?
Oh man, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm in great mood. We're going to be drilling soon. The sun's out in Vancouver. I'm in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I agree. So, can you start by giving us some updates on the company since we last spoke? It's been a little while, but like you just said, you guys have a lot coming up to be excited for.
Yeah, for sure, right? So we've been pretty busy lining up this drill program right now at Jackpot Lake, and it starts actually next week. So really excited to finally get to work on that project, right? So it's been for the last few months getting the permits, getting sorted with the drill contracts and whatnot, right? And while at the same time, we've been working on that 20% share dividend for the Nikobat nickel project. So we actually just mailed out the circular for everyone, and in December we'll have the vote, hopefully to approve the spin out, and then the dividend will come out likely in January with that dividend date, which will be announced.
So as we know, Usha is about to start drilling, and this is, some of the most exciting times for your business as you've been working very hard to get to this point. Can you tell us more about your drill program, along with drilling the 2 holes that will get you to that 43-101 resource estimate?
Yeah, so we've actually permitted, it's a 6-hole program, 2,700 meters. We've got a mix of shallow and deep holes to advance the project. The 2 holes, that's what's beautiful about this project, right? So Jackpot Lake is a lithium brine, and it's actually a very, it's almost a textbook lithium brine in the sense that our target is it's continuous. It literally does look like what you would expect in an underground lake to look like. And so because of the continuity of our target, we're going to be drilling 2 holes to start, one in the north end, one in the south end, and that would be enough for us, combined with the geophysics and the results, to actually be able to take this to a 43-101 resource.
Yeah, that's very significant. Of course, 43-101, very important. So we know how difficult the market has been, but Usha has held up relatively well compared to companies of similar size, especially in the mining sector. Can you tell us more about your share structure, cash in the balance sheet, and market cap, and also why you've held up, relatively well?
Yeah, you know what? I really think that it all comes down to share structure, right? I think that we have only 35 million shares out, of which still at this date over 70% are owned by insiders, management, strategic shareholders, people with a very long-term view of their investments, and they really believe in the company and where we're going to be going, and that really does make it a different type of investment, right? Because your 35 million shares, really there isn't that much stock outstanding, and so you're in a situation here where there's not a lot of supply, right? And I think that is very attractive for from an investment standpoint. Our last financial statements came out with just under 3 million in working capital, while we had a market cap right now of about 7 million, right? Mm-hmm. So it's, the enterprise value here is, I think, unreal, right? It's which makes Usha very attractive, I think, right now.
No, definitely. So, when it comes to timelines, we know how important this topic really is. A lot of companies aren't clear enough when it comes to their timelines, and people are waiting for things, results, and all that. So what's your anticipated time frame for field work, along with how quickly do you think you'll be able to achieve, that resource estimate?
So we'll be starting drilling next week, and we're going to continue right on through Christmas and then we'll take a small break, and then we'll start up again right away in January. And so by the end of January, I would say, of course, let's hope everything goes to plan. We should be able to have wrapped up the first 2 holes, which will then allow us to get to work. Of course, we got to send the samples off to the lab, but then we get to work on the resource estimate, right? We'll complete the downhole geophysics, and really we'll be able to, I think, in the later part of Q1, early part of Q2 here, be able to come out with that 43-101 resource estimate, which then, of course, bring us to a whole new level, I think, right? That's when you're on the path towards production. You're no longer an exploration company. So yeah, it's a very aggressive timeline. A lot's going to be happening in the next 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months will be exciting, and we'll definitely have you back on to chat as things progress. So, what truly makes your Jackpot project so unique, and what are you most excited about when it comes to that specific project?
Yeah, you know what? So I think it's a textbook example really of what a salar should look like, and the target just, it's, when you look often in Nevada, some of these other brine projects, they are quite deep. Some of these you have to drill down 1 kilometer. For us, bedrock is 600 meters, and our target starts at about 100 meters, right? So we've got a very thick target that is very shallow. Our sweet spot is actually only about 300 meters down, right? So I think that actually makes us stand out amongst some of these other projects. It's in its own, it's on trend, it's in its own basin. So we really are a discovery in the making. And so when you put it all together, this is, wonderful target, unique location in Nevada. And in Nevada, I mean, the only lithium brine, or sorry, the only lithium mine in North America is a brine project similar to ours at Albemarle Silver Peak operation, right? So, this is a unique deposit style to Nevada, really, that has been proven to go into production. And so we're very excited because we have a target that is very similar to what they were looking for back in 1966, and they've been producing ever since. So, we'll only find out what we get once we start drilling. But I mean, that's really, I think, the reason why this is a game-changing project for us, right? And that's really what gets me most excited, right? Because this truly is a game-changing, has a game-changing potential, right? Like, this is a real discovery in the making, is what we hope, and so that's why we've been working so hard, and we're really excited to get drilling.
Definitely, that sounds very promising. So, let's talk a little bit about grading, because I feel like that's a topic that we don't talk about enough. Can you tell us more about lithium grading and what types of grades differentiate a decent project from,
for sure, right? I mean, I think that's a great question, because when you're looking at brine projects down in South America, typically, you look at 400, 500, 600 ppm. In the US and Canada, however, a lot of projects, they're around that 100 ppm mark. Right. And part of that, I think, moving forward, they'll make it even more attractive. I know it's a lower grade, but the reason is with the Inflation Reduction Act, that's going to really put an emphasis on domestic lithium production. And so a project that has 100 ppm in North America as a brine is actually a very viable project, right? Pure Energy's got 233,000 tons. I think it's around 115 ppm. Albemarle's resources are down to around 120 ppm. You look at Standard Lithium's projects in Arkansas. That's really the grade that a lot of these projects have, and they're all viable projects. And so, for us, I'm certainly hoping we get a lot more than 100 ppm. But it's nice to see that because of the location in Nevada, you have an opportunity here to really have a big home run on it's a lower hanging fruit than elsewhere.
Yeah, I know jurisdiction is very important, especially in these times. So that's nice. So why should investors consider Usha Resources at this time? And what sets you apart from other similar companies? We know the lithium sector is hot. You guys aren't the only company, obviously, but what's the main thing?
You know what? I think it's there are a few things, right? Number one, we're going to be active, right? Like, this is a story that's starting next week that I think really is going to be, for the next 6 months, we're going to be very busy, right? So when you're looking at companies, especially today in the market today, often, work has been delayed or protracted out, or they're not doing work. We're getting to work, right? We've been trying to drill this thing as soon as possible with an aggressive timeline. I think that's really something that we should all be doing, but not everyone does, right? We're going out here. We've got a very small market cap, $7 million, which is very, compared to our peers, right? We have peers that trade at several multiples, 35, 40 at the exploration stage. So you're getting an opportunity to take part of a story that's very early and that is going out to be very busy, that actually will be able to now deliver what it could be a very game-changing discovery. And so, it's such a small market cap with such huge potential. I think that's really, my person, when I look at investment, that's where I like to, those are the kind of hidden gems I like to find, right? And I think really we are a hidden gem that's undervalued, only because we were fortunate enough to acquire this project for very reasonable terms. It was just about $1 million worth of stock. But the thing is that we acquired this project earlier this year, and it was a very tough economic climate. Nobody really was paying attention. And so, now that we're, one of the reasons we're doing something like this with you is because we want people to recognize that there's a real opportunity here. And, I think that in every market, there's some winners, and, 7 million market cap, lithium brine resource coming hopefully within 6 months, a 20% dividend, share dividend through the nickel spin out. I think it's very compelling and a very small package here. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great opportunity right now.
Yes, you guys have a lot going for you, many unique things as well. And I will comment on share structure because I see a lot of deals, and that is something that is really great, that it's tightly held and not a lot of shares outstanding, because we see that a
For
lot in
sure,
the
right? Like the
mining.
35 million shares out, right? And you gotta remember, we're obviously we're going to be spending money now. We want to be spending money now. We're gonna be drilling, right? But at our last financials, we had just under 3 million working capital, right? I mean, we have the ability to go out and execute on our projects. We're not going to go out and have to do any more dilutive financings or anything like that. We're well funded, and so that again is another thing that really does, I think, set us apart with amongst our peers here.
Definitely. So where's the best place for investors to find out more information on the company?
Yes, I would encourage everyone to join our mailing list on our website, right? We've got a lot of information on the projects, but we're actually very active with our shareholders, keeping them in the loop, what's going on. And so I would say, please go to the website and, join our mailing list. We keep in touch. And, another source, call me, email me, whatever. I say it to all our shareholders. I'm an open book. I've given out my number and email to everybody because I'm happy to talk to Usha anytime. So, the website, email subscription, and me. So.
That's great, Deepak. Well, I'm sure we will have you back on for more updates. Best of luck. I know you guys will be busy.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Thank you.